Hello friends, near and far, dear to my heart, I'm Victoria with Aligned Soul Tarot. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me here in this space for this full moon in Taurus collective reading. If you'd like to skip the astrology update, you can find the timestamp below for the reading. So, this full moon in Taurus, it's on the 15th and it's conjunct Uranus in Taurus. Although we have this exalted moon, it's so cozy and warm, this Venusian quality, we have this spike of Uranus, okay? This kind of Aquarius vibe that's going on as well with Pluto and Aquarius, right? And also this active transformation during Scorpio season. So there's this balance effect that's happening with the security and safety of Taurus with this transformational scorpionic energy. You can hear more about these shifts that are upcoming with Pluto and Aquarius in my monthly readings on my channel. I provide love and general readings and also some supportive content below, links, whatever affirmations come up in this reading, songs that might come through, we shall see. You can find all my links below. So, when the moon embraces Uranus under this Taurus sky, this full moon, what are we releasing, right? Expect the ground beneath to shift and spark with electric life. In this moment, stability waltzes with surprises, right? And the unfamiliar way to give thrill to the unknown. Emotions might be awakened like sudden storms, charged with truths we maybe didn't know or didn't want to know, or we weren't maybe ready to face. Uranus is ruled by Aquarius, this cosmic rebel, as I like to say, and it whispers to the moon of freedom, shaking loose our roots, our need for security, right? Maybe minimalizing a bit, and getting really clear on what we truly need to feel safe. We have a ton of fixed energy currently. Mars in Leo, Uranus, and the full moon in Taurus, Scorpio sun, and soon, again, Pluto and Aquarius. All four signs are fixed. With all this fixed energy, this is a time of finding strength, not in resisting change, but in embracing it full on and allowing new insights to challenge your foundations. For growth often begins with discomfort, and this can be challenging for Taurus, okay? Release what no longer serves your highest purpose and know that your true power, Scorpio, lies in your ability to transform, to adapt, to be like water, like I've been saying, and to shine brighter through each unfolding season. With this union of Uranus and this full moon, you know, we may feel both shaken and inspired, as if the universe itself has nudged us awake from our slumber, reminding us that life is alive. All of us living on planet Earth are fully aware of this, and that comfort can be refined, and that change, even if it's unexpected, you know, that tower energy can also be a gift. Full moons embrace this culmination of wisdom that has been within reach for quite some time now, and it might look different for all of you. And as we slowly exit this eclipse cycle, we are entering into new territory with the mark of 2025 well upon us. This Piscean era, which we've been feeling in Saturn and Pisces, we're going to have the North Node entering into Pisces, South Node in Virgo. I have that lunar eclipse in Pisces reading on Patreon. If you want to get an inside scoop into what this is going to bring us for 2025's eclipses. And if you're new to astrology and your birth chart and don't know about these placements, especially your North and South Node natal placements, I highly encourage you to get informed. There's so much information there for you. Okay, you can book a reading with me or find this information on your own. I do tarot and astrology services. Check my website to see what I have. And I do have an eclipse supportive playlist below with some full and new moon readings. I have the new moon and Scorpio reading that I just did. And again, these are all cycles, so it's good to reflect on the last moon readings I've done and eclipse readings. Those playlists are below. And I do have a new reading that I'm offering, which I think is awesome. For all of us to stay in touch with our natal moon return, we have one every month. We look into the transits within and around your natal moon return each month. It's a very cheap and effective way to get in touch with your emotional rhythm, your own personal rhythm. And we also pull some cards, right, to help guide you through every month. So also find that on my website if you are interested. I offer 10% off if you do a 6-month subscription. And on Patreon as well, I have a lot of extended content. I'm going to be feeling into the 2025 forecast for all the signs on Patreon, so stay tuned for that. And make sure to like and share this video. Subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell to stay up to date for when I post. And make sure to check out my general monthly love and astrology general advice readings. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into it. Why, hello there. Thank you for trusting in me and welcome to this space that we get to create together. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are returning, welcome. All of your support truly helps keep this channel growing and thriving. And yeah, stay up to date. I'm going to be also doing a Chiron series here by the end of November, so stay tuned for that, feeling into your natal Chiron. And also a Mercury retrograde reading I'm going to be feeling into at the end of November, November 25th, something to look forward to. But let's stay present. Okay, let's focus on the now. But let's also not stay too fixed. You know, we have a ton of this fixed energy, and like I said in the intro, it's teaching us, I'm getting this saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it, for some of you. But also, where are we being hyper fixated on something? Where can we surrender? You know, I've been talking about this, again, if you're new to my channel, I've been talking about Saturn in Pisces, again, that lunar eclipse in Pisces reading on Patreon. And we're going to be really feeling more into this in 2025, this Pisces effect. And it's really asking us to surrender. You know, and that could be really challenging, especially for fixed signs. So again, where are we too rigid? Where are we being also complacent is what I'm hearing for some of you, or avoidant, right? Not wanting to see the truth, not wanting to see something for what it is. And there's always a balance there with, right? Like, you know, it might be perceived as naive or toxic positivity or spiritual bypassing. But it's really just about reframing. And I've also been talking about this, and I'll post a helpful therapeutic tool for those that might get lost within the constructs of the mind. We are way more than our mind. You know, we're tapping into some emotional spaces here. And this Taurus full moon is just beautiful. I myself have a moon in Taurus, so I know this all too well. It is exalted. It's very grounding. It's this Venusian quality that is just the right amount to add to this massive transformation that we're having. There's always a balance, and there's never any coincidence with the universe and astrology. Okay, so just know that there's divine timing and divine orchestration at play with this kind of culmination of energies, this blending of sorts of, again, this groundedness that we're experiencing with this full moon in Taurus, as well as the erratic kind of temperature of this Aquarius energy that's coming in. Again, Pluto in Aquarius, this Uranus in Taurus, which has been in for quite some time, but we're kind of at this catalyst tipping point. As again, we exit eclipse season, and wherever you are in the world, you're experiencing some seasonal shifts. So whenever there's this kind of handing off, you know, especially with Pluto, 20-year generational planet, this handing off of the baton, you know, it's a bit wonky. It's a bit erratic, much like Uranus. So hunker in. Taurus is all about the 5 senses. This is somatic practices, utilizing taste, touch, sight, sound, feeling, allowing all of those sensations to emerge, immersing yourself in those sensations, and being grateful for the fact that you are experiencing those, because there are some that can't, right? So utilize what you have. You know, Taurus is also about resources. How much can you actually give, and not being ashamed if you can't, You know, it's actually very powerful for this Taurus full moon to just say, I surrender. I can't do that. Learning how to say no, having healthy boundaries. We've been talking about this with Saturn and Pisces as well. We don't have to be too fixed. And also what I'm getting reminded of from the Creativity Oracle, but I don't know if I have it in front of me, is the Wish Granted card. You know, and it says on there, you're receiving something. It might not be what you expected, but it's what you need, right? Much like change, it might not be so comfortable. And again, that's something that we're going to really have to feel into with this full moon in Taurus. It might not be so comfortable, but it's exactly what the doctor ordered. I'm getting like recipe, you know, there's all these little ingredients that are at play right now, and all of it is making the perfect stew. Okay, let's stew in it, right? That's what Taurus is asking us to do. Let's stew in it. Let's steep in it. Let's enjoy the chaos, right? Grab your popcorn. Let's sit down. Take a load off. You know, that was the song in Taurus season, was The Weight by who is it, the band? Take a load off, Annie. Take a load for free. Take a load off, Annie. You put the load right on me. It's Taurus energy right there for you. Yeah, a lot of the fixed signs are going to be feeling this even more so. So that's Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Leo. And again, we have a ton of this energy right now as in astrology. So very fixed. Ooh, this just fell. Gnosis. Ooh, it kind of reminds me of Metatron. Let's see what else we have from the archetypes. The wild unknown for my collective. Thank you for joining me here. Make sure to hit that like button. It's a free way to support me. It doesn't cost you a dime. Like, comment below your experiences, your placements, whatever you wish to share. I love to hear back from you. You know, I love your feedback on your readings. And check out your general readings, right? Watch for your other placements as well. You're more than your sun sign. All right, Taurus collective. This is the Taurus full moon collective, I should say. Those that find this reading, just know it's meant to find you. Even if it's after the full moon, there's going to be a message here for you. Just know that. The warrior. Oh, this has been coming out a lot. And the lover. Ooh, Gemini. The box. This came out in the new moon in Scorpio reading. So also watch that reading. Again, these are cycles. Scorpio is Taurus's opposite. So they go hand in hand. There's never any coincidence to why every month we experience these opposing factors. Life is a dance of this polarity, and we are just a part of this dance. Let's immerse ourselves. This is this Venusian quality, the lovers. This is also about making choices. But, you know, the swans pair for life, and the swan is on here. So there's something about deep soulmate connections that are supportive, right? That aren't confining with the box. Like I said in the, I think it was either the full moon in Aries reading or the new moon in Scorpio. I believe it was the new moon in Scorpio reading this card came out, but it's like this Aquarius, Uranus energy, Pluto Aquarius, Uranus conjunct this full moon is all about breaking out of the box. You know, that rebellious streak, Aquarius. This is about freedom, autonomy, new identities, new social constructs, new way of living, thinking, being in the world. I love that, which is, it's just a repeating message, but I'm going to read from the Gnosis, because that I am not so certain. I'm getting reminded of hypnosis. And, you know, I was saying, where have you been asleep in your life? Where have you been avoiding something? You know, kind of like The Walking Dead. You might be feeling like that right now, like everyone, you know, especially here in the Northern Hemisphere, we've been undergoing lots of collective changes, not just astrologically, but, you know, in the political world, which I'm not even going to start to talk about. It's not my forte. But for those that are living on planet Earth, it's kind of hard to not know what's going on. And people are waking up to the truth, and it might be really hard for some people to handle that. And before I continue, I just want to give this advice. is that at the end of the day, who do you have? Really, truly? Who is it that you can rely on? The lovers. Who are those people that are here to strengthen you and not dissolve you or belittle you or lead you astray? It always comes back to self, like I say. But, you know, you are the company you keep, as my dad would like to say. Thank you, Dad, for that wisdom. Although I hated it when I was younger, I truly do believe that. And there's something to learn from thy enemy, from these situations. It's never to judge, because there's a lesson there. But again, we can't let ourselves become powerless, the warrior. Because the world is always going to do its thing. Earth is going to continue to do its thing, right? As it does. And so are humans all around the world. We can make impacts even in the smallest of groups. Again, those small groups is what I'm feeling. Also, as we work on ourselves, we are able to make more of an impact on those around us. So wherever you're at in your journey of self-development, and again, gifts, I've been talking about this so much and it just keeps coming up as a channeled message, we have to start to refrain from giving our power away to maybe some sources that aren't reliable. So let's just settle in here, right? Let's call back our power here and now. Calling it back in. Breathe into that feeling of your own sovereignty. You are a free will sovereign being, and you have every right to this life, much like all of us, okay? So don't give your power away. Be the warrior, be like water. Flow. You know, I've been really getting into Bruce Lee. He's been a major influence for me this past month. You know, that grand trine in water. Aquarius is reading. You know, this Pluto in Aquarius is that quote by Bruce Lee: enter your mind, be formless, shapeless, like water. It's a lot like the Tao. I'm saying it Lao. I'm butchering the name, but I will link it below. Taoism. But there's a specific teacher and mentor that I'm just going to say his name wrong, so I'm not going to say it. But I am going to link the video below. I did post it on Instagram, but let's not go into all that. If you want to go check my Instagram out and get to know me as a person, you know, I post stuff there all the time. Different astrologers, quotes, inspiration, photos, music, art, you know. Follow me there if you want to get to know me more. But I did post it there, and I will post it below if you want to feel into this. Taoism, Buddhism. I've been really pulling on these beliefs, you know, and I'm not someone that's very fixed in my beliefs. I like to pull from different things at different times whenever it comes to me. I allow things just to come to me. I don't stay super fixed on one belief system. Okay, that's just me personally. And maybe that will benefit you as well, to get you out of that box, you know, because it's not a one size fits all here. To each their own, whatever you practice, but make sure you're preaching it, okay? So 217, let's get into it. 217. Okay. True knowledge is not found in facts and figures in scholarly books on library shelves. Rather, Gnosis points to the deep and timeless archetypal wisdom that rises from the felt experience. Again, remember, Taurus is about our five senses, the somatic experience. Allow yourself to feel. Right? As a humans, it can feel like a curse for how much we can feel. But there's so much information there stored within your body. I'm getting reminded of The Body Keeps the Score. I'll link that book below. Great book. For those that don't know about this. Okay. The felt experience of having touched the unknown with every one of the senses. Those who are drawn to Gnosis find themselves in esoteric studies, likely involving mysticism, alchemy, healing, or perhaps science. Knowing is their calling, not knowing is their job description. Ooh, I like that. That's maybe what I'm going to title this reading. Because that's that fixed element, right? Like I said, we have a lot of fixed energy right now. And it's about knowing, right? It can feel that way with fixed signs. Needing to know. Having a set requirement. As I bust out my pencil and pad, and like it feels very like, let's take notes. And sometimes it is in the unknowing that is where we find the most knowing. How backwards is that? So I'm going to write this down before I forget. And knowing is your calling. Not knowing is your job description. Amen. I like that. Okay. Well, that's the first start. We'll see if it ends up in the title. I might kind of reverberate it, but I like it. Okay. They come to the ultimate conclusions that facts slipped towards mystery. And soon the mystery results in facts. This card signifies a knowing that is life-changing. This Uranus, Pluto, and Aquarius. Once you experience it, you are forever changed and become a guardian of Gnosis. The external mystery is calling you. Study your passions in the deepest way available to you. This is also very Scorpionic. Again, Scorpios govern and rule the 8th house, which is occult, magic, knowledge, symbolism, mysticism, the human psyche, the shadow, much like Carl Jung would speak upon. It's very Scorpionic. And this is contemplating the great mysteries of life and kind of just peering out of this fixed view. Maybe you, again, were really fixated on something, looking a certain way or being a certain way within this box. And it could pertain to love, right? We're going to dive deeper into the other cards. But we're having to really be strong and resilient. We're wrapping up a strength year here, right? 2024 breaks down to an 8, which is 8th house, like I was just speaking upon, but it's also strength, the strength card. This is befriending the beast, getting to know our shadow, understanding our limitations, our fears, our restrictions, and why are they holding us back? What is keeping us in this box? And we're being shaken out of these boxes, whether we like it or not. Scorpio season represents to me the Tower, so this is very fitting. Okay, and it's all for us to grow and evolve. All right, let's pull from this lovely deck and then we'll move on here. What is the advice for this full moon in Taurus? What is the best advice that I can give my collective? Those that are finding this reading, just know it's meant to find you. Ancestors, guides, allies, ascended masters, angels. What is the message for this full moon in Taurus? Full moon in Taurus guidance. Generosity. Today I will focus on generosity. It says here, giving without any thought of receiving is compassion in action. The most powerful and unconditional act of generosity. So it's about giving without expectations, giving back to yourself as well. Where can you be more generous to yourself? Where can you allow yourself to be more free and break out of this box, right? Surrendering to change and knowing that this is teaching me something, right? Oh, I love that. All right, we're going to pull some tarot. All right, full moon in Taurus, generosity. It's also reminding me of the 6 of Pentacles, which is about generosity, which is it's full moon in Taurus. So 6 of Pentacles is very relevant, okay? This is about give and take, reciprocity, charity, receiving. This whole topic of receiving, it's very interesting to me because the whole idea of how we receive things and how it feels in the body. Again, the 5 senses with Taurus. Are we receiving or giving from a place of lack or fear or expecting the other? And this is not to say that we don't have values or needs. Taurus has that, right? It's the I have. It's the second house of emotional security, and also financial security, and knowing how to pull on your resources, right? Knowing when you can be generous and give and not be too stubborn or fixed around these beliefs, values, money, whatever that is for you. This is what this full moon in Taurus is teaching us, but it's about, you know, giving without expectation necessarily. We're doing so from a place of love. We're doing so, we're offering whatever this is from a place of just unconditional love, truly. And I'm not here to say that I believe, especially amongst relationships, partnership, co-workers, that that's always essential, because let's be honest, Taurus, Venus, and I talked about this, Stephen Forrest, one of my favorite astrologers, talks about Venus as the fine art of rejecting people, because Aphrodite, Taurus, Libra, you know, it's not about this goddess who's open-armed and loves everyone and is just welcoming everyone, because let's be honest, that you'd be a doormat at that point. Venus, your Venus placement is also very crucial right now to get familiar with, as well as your moon, to understand that there are times that you are going to have to reject certain things, right? And who are you being generous to, right? Six of Pentacles. Because there are people out there, again, that will take advantage of your kindness. Let's just be honest. And these are maybe some hard lessons that some people are learning at this time. And we don't have to be tit for tat or vindictive about it. We can just pull back our energies and knowing when to exchange and when to not. It's a flow. And I guess what I'm trying to get at is that unconditional feeling, because this is a very feeling-based moon, Taurus, is when we give and it feels good. You know, we're giving and there's no need for validation. There's no, you know, they might feel good to get that validation or maybe receive something in return. But as we are gifting something, as we're giving it, there's no strings attached. It's truly formless, whatever that is for you. This can be so general, right? But it's a feeling. It really, truly is. When you give from your heart and you also receive from your heart. That's a big lesson for me, myself, that I've learned, is actually receiving, feeling worthy of great things, right? And also knowing how to take, you know, take constructive criticism is what I'm hearing, but also to really receive validation and be like, yeah, you know, I earned that. I am generous. I earned this. Yes, thank you. You know, when someone gives you a compliment and you're like, oh, no, that's not me. It's like, yes, that is you. Take it. Take that generosity that you're getting from others as well and extending it outward, right? It's almost like where I'm getting reminded of pay it forward. I don't know if you've ever heard of that concept of paying it forward. Look into it if you haven't, because that's what's getting marked with this generosity card. A simple way that you could pay it forward around this full moon. All right. Full moon in Taurus. What do we have, guys? What do we have? Cards speak to me. Please show me the messages for my lovely viewers. Again, thank you for watching. If you're still here with me, thank you. Let's get some messages for you. Full moon in Taurus. Ancestors, guides, allies, angels, ascended masters. What are the messages that we are needing to give at this time for my lovely collective? This full moon in Taurus energy. This Uranus, Pluto, and Aquarius. Oh, woo. Yeah, okay. Let's get 2 more cards, please. 1 more card. There it is. Okay, cool. See, you ask and you shall receive. That's another message that's coming up, is you just ask. I forget what sign had that. Was it Taurus? It might have been Taurus. Just ask. Or Cancer. It might have been Cancer. I forget. But that was a message. It's relevant now. You might be watching. Maybe you know that reading. Okay, so this is powerful stuff here. So I wanted to first start off with when I specifically asked about Uranus, Pluto, and Aquarius, is I got the Ten of Swords. Yeah, it can feel like that. Let's be honest. Sudden change, you know, with the grace of Taurus, and Taurus begrudgingly doesn't want to necessarily change. They like safety, they like comfort. They're like, why are you waking me from my slumber? You know, that hibernation. But these are things that we're getting darted at left and right. And that's kind of like that Ten of Swords is feeling like, just a lot of energetic swords, lots of energy swirling. You can feel defeated, very fatigued, tired, but you're at the end. You're at the 10, which is great. And it reminds me again of the passing of the baton of Pluto and Capricorn to Pluto and Aquarius. It's like this Uranus energy conjunct this full moon, it's just what the doctor ordered. Because the thing about this fixed energy, like I've been saying this reading, is that you can get really complacent and fixed. And that's not really where growth lies. When we're comfortable, let's be honest. Most of our growth is in towers. Most of our growth is when we are uncomfortable. And of course we deserve to feel good. Of course we deserve to feel at our optimal and to enjoy the luxuries and the finer things in life, Taurus. But there's a time and a place for it all. It can't all be love, light, feel good all the time. You know, because I don't really think that that's where all the growth is, if you hear me. I'm getting reminded of like trines and sextiles. If you don't know about these aspects, just know I offer personalized birth chart readings. But, you know, when you see a lot of these trines and sextiles, everyone's like, oh, it's so positive. Yes, but it's also can be a place of stagnancy. So where have you been stagnant, right? Because these 10 swords are saying stagnancy. Because if you're carrying all this weight, this energetic weight, it could be literally physical weight, you know, but this is more energetic for me. This is also the mind. It's going to weigh you down. It's going to weigh you down, and you can't move into, you know, this ultimate happiness that is here. 10 of Cups. Taurus did get this in there. I believe their love reading. And I was talking to them about the 10 of Cups compared to the 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles takes a lot of work. 10 of Cups is a feeling. You know, and I was telling them that, you know, this is emotional satisfaction. Think about people in third world countries, and they've done studies on these certain places. I forget what they're called, but certain places in the world where from the outside looking in, you'd be like, how are they so healthy and happy? You can comment below if you know what I'm talking about. But there's studies on this, like third world countries, where you'd be like, oh my God, like these people are content with that, you know, what they have, Taurus. But it's a feeling. You know, you can be shacked up. You could be in the middle of the desert. You could be living in Alaska, you know, and you could still feel this 10 of Cups. It's a deep feeling of happiness and family and contentment and community and warmth and love. And that can literally be coming from a homeless person on the street. Right? Isn't that so inspiring when you see someone that is just down and out? From your outside perception, from your 10 of Cups, but from theirs, you know, we just don't know. And this 10 of Cups also, I'm getting reminded, can shift, right? Within a day, you can feel that 10 of Cups, and then the next day, you can feel the 10 of Swords. So it can be very polarizing, right, with this Uranus energy. But it's like holding on to both, understanding, again, the duality that we as humans experience. Although this 10 of Cups can be fleeting, and of course we want more of this, it's always there. This energy is accessible to you, especially if you're falling onto more of this extreme of the 10 of Swords. Victimized, stuck, heaviness, carrying the weight of the world, holding on to judgment, letting everyone just toss you around, right? Just barely scraping by in that meat suit of yours. You can choose to pull on this 10 of Cups. Call it naive, whatever you want to call it. It's called reframing. Again, it's called a growth mindset. And this is something that we can practice. Again, our thoughts affect our feelings, which therefore affect our reality, our actions. It's very simple in that way if you look at it from that perspective, but it can be very hard to look at it from that perspective if you're stuck here. 7 of Cups. Ten of Swords, illusion, fear, fantasy, diluted, getting pulled, letting people pull you every which way. We have the strength. Again, I was talking about 8th house. It's a strength year. Yes, we're having to be strong. This takes strength, and it's like a muscle, you know, practicing how we can balance these two energies, because they're both so important. And for some of you that might not think that way, oh, Ten of Swords, you know, what is the Ten of Swords here for? Why would I want that? I want all this. Well, you're missing the point of this message, is that that's what this full moon in Taurus is teaching us. Uranus is saying, take the good with the bad, take it all in, surrender to this experience. And it's okay to feel both. It's okay for within a day, you might sway. But embracing both. And really, again, it's somatic. It's like feeling into that Ten of Swords, the betrayal, the pain, the weight. Yes, validating that. And also validating that Ten of Cups. But we also can't just be like, la, 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 everything's great. Everything's fine. Spiritual bypassing, you know. You can. I'm not here to boss you around. I'm just giving you the message that's clearly being stated here, is that we have to understand both. Okay, we really do appreciate the Ten of Swords and the Ten of Cups. I will link below one of my favorite interpreters, Atypical Tarot. Shout out to you. And I will link these two cards, because he pulls from a bunch of different decks and he goes into more detail on these energies, because this is where this Uranus kind of fixed, sporadic frequencies coming in here to show us we can have both, and it's okay. We don't have to stay stuck or bound or limited to one end of the spectrum. It's actually when we can work with these polarities together and understanding how they're serving us is where that strength is. True strength is. Then smack dab in the middle, we have the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Cups. Sag. Knight of Cups for me is really any water sign, but it's feeling more Pisces right now. Knight of Cups, sorry, I'm pointing the wrong way. So this is fire and water, which we have a lot of it right now. Again, we have Sun, Scorpio. Mars is in fire. We have Venus now in Capricorn. And I believe Mercury is still in Sag as I'm doing this. But it's been a lot of fire and water. Predominantly most of October and November were. So this is where we've been. Of course, things are always moving and evolving and shifting. But we're learning how to embrace this kind of volcanic, eruptive energy. But then, like, when you see that the tower or that explosion, this Uranus energy come up, then it's like that lava. It can be fast, but then it usually slows down. So this is kind of what I'm getting here, is like that fast, kind of erratic Knight of Wands, kind of fiery, you know, volcanic energy, right? A bit scattered, a bit impulsive, but just a gusto for life, inspired by change even. You know, I'm getting reminded with the Knight of Wands here and the Knight of Cups is being inspired by our emotions, letting our emotions fuel us. And I don't know who got that in their reading, but that was just this month. Letting your emotions fuel you. That is the power of creation. Me as an artist, you know, I paint, I sing, I'm just a creatress. I'm always inspired by my anger, my sadness, my grief. It's what's made the most beautifulest of things. This Taurus energy, Venus, you know, pulling on our creations. Knight of Cups, very poetic, romantic, dreamy. Being inspired by that pain, being inspired by the Ten of Swords, and allowing ourselves to also, with the Seven of Cups I'm getting, is to dream. It's okay to dream a bit, but we don't want to get lost in the sauce. We don't want to, again, go too extreme on either end. Like the Gnosis card said in the beginning, knowing is your calling, not knowing is your job description. Interesting. Inspired by your pain. Allowing your passions to fuel you, Mars and Leo. All right, let's get some more messages for you here. Where do we want to pull from? Where do we want to pull from? I'm going to bust out my oracles here. I had to make some room on my desk, so I had to put some of these bad boys away. All right. Sacred destiny. What do we have for this full moon in Taurus? Sacred destiny. Please give us some advice. Sacred destiny. Full moon in Taurus. My collective, angels, guides, allies. What does my collective need to know at this time to serve their highest and greatest good? To help move them forward, to be moved by their emotions and not always the emotions of others, right? Letting this powerful force within them erupt, transform and change, creating inspired action. Knight of Wands, Knight of Cups. Swaying in the parallels of the universe. The pain and the pleasure, the beauty and the pain. Enjoy this experience is what I'm hearing. You were put on this earthly realm, although you might have not wanted to, and you sometimes wish that you weren't. This is a time, Taurus, full moon in Taurus, to really indulge in our five senses and what makes us human. Taurus, full moon, what do we have? Forgiveness, stillness. I love this imagery. Oh, it's so beautiful. Reaching up to that moon, you know, pulling on the moon. This is the waning. So this is actually the right before the new moon. So for some of you, you might have been in a place, or will be, right? But I'm seeing this more as predictive. This could have been also around the new moon in Scorpio, but I'm feeling more that this is going to be more into December. Is when we're going to be able to forgive even ourselves. And I want to know why. For what are we forgiving here? Spirit, what are they forgiving? What are we forgiving? Forgiving ourselves. Why? What's going on here in this forgiveness card? There's a deeper message there. Ooh, yeah, forgiving the past. Okay, that's very clear. Death in reverse. Past mistakes. There's forgiveness, and there's a calmness that comes with that. There's a swan here twice, so I'm also going to link below, because this is a very powerful animal, apparently, showing up for this collective. I will link below a reading on what swans mean in more detail, and maybe you connect with them already. But I will link below. Again, in the description box, you'll find all my helpful links. Just scroll through and you'll find them. Forgiving the past, the death in reverse, so that you can move forward. Embracing change, embracing. Kind of reminds me of a volcano. Interesting, right? I was just talking about a volcano. So as these feelings erupt, be easy on yourself as well. Relaxation and stillness. So with this Uranus energy, it is important to be able to allow yourself to sit with those feelings. The Ten of Swords, right? And the Ten of Cups can be, how can I create safety as I feel my way through this? It's kind of like, okay, I know that I might need a nice hot cup of tea or a nice warm cozy blanket, Taurus, right? Maybe light a candle, you know, because I want to sit with these feelings, but how can I give myself a little bit of comfort and relaxation as I go through this, right? We don't have to, again, go to the extremes of either end. Like I said, the Ten of Swords. It's like I'm getting reminded of someone that's like clearly standing out in the rain when they can literally go under the covering, but they're just deciding to stand there in the rain. And that's their choice. But it's like the Five of Pentacles, which is also Taurus. It's like you can go in, there's food, there's resources, there's shelter. So there's something here with this Taurus. It's like there is generosity around you if you just put your head up, right? Ten of Swords also speaks on this. There is support, there are resources, there is shelter. But you also are, again, a free will, sovereign being. You get to make those choices for yourself. No one else is going to make them for you. Okay? You can choose to relax. You can choose to enjoy. You can choose to receive. this generosity, the gifts of life. Or you can choose to stay out in the cold, in the rain, in the snow, whatever it is. And also, again, forgive yourself for the times where maybe you weren't so kind to yourself or another. Forgive yourself. It's time to forgive. It's time to utilize this potential that's around you. Yeah, the Five of Pentacles is a very strong message as well. Let's see what else we have to wrap up your reading here. What are we going to pull on, ancestors? Kuan Yin, of course we are. This is very Venusian. Kuan Yin. All right, Kuan Yin. She's my water deity. Be formless, shapeless like water. Be adaptable. Allow yourself to be loved. Taurus is saying, allow yourself to be loved and to feel loved. What does it feel like? Like reminiscing on your first kiss. You know, the touch and warmth. Again, it could just be simply the warmth of a cup of tea or a soft blanket. Like trying to enjoy the simple things as you move through the Ten of Swords. I keep getting reminded of that. There are ways that you can support yourself at this time. Be generous to yourself. Give back to yourself. And also help others that maybe are stuck out in the rain. You know, you can, I'm getting reminded, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Right? That's that Five of Pentacles energy. And that can be really challenging, especially if you love someone. But forgiving the past, forgiving yourself for, again, the past in general. Where you've been stagnant, where you've been immobile. And again, there's some forced change that's occurring with Uranus. Conjunct this moon. What's some advice for my lovely viewers for this full moon in Taurus? Desert harvest. Remember I was just talking about even the most desolate of places? This is what this card's speaking upon. And I'm going to read from the book for you because it's beautiful. This is exactly what I was just talking about. You know, whether you're out in the rain or in the desert or you're shacked up in Alaska in the middle of Antarctica, you can still feel that Ten of Cups. Oh, there's a saying here. You know, like I was saying in the beginning, it's wrapping up to the beginning, which I love when it does that. As we come back, we wrap this reading up with grace. I was saying you are the company you keep. But then I'm also getting reminded of wherever you go, there you are. And that's Ram Dass. And that could be very comforting to understand both. Again, the polarities of you are the company you keep, but you also are a free will sovereign being. And you can choose to dance within those polarities. And understanding when things don't serve you and when they do. Especially when it comes to your environment. Because Taurus is earth, right? This is the physical 3D manifestation of reality. It's very dense. Taurus reminds me of a mountain. So this is also working on your root chakra. And I will also link below that meditation. Let me write this down. Root chakra. I will also link the Atypical Tarot for the Five of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords, and the Ten of Cups. And then I will do the Taoism. Be Like Water video. You got all the supportive content. If you're needing it, there you go. 22 breaks down to a 4. This is stability. 4 is how we anchor in. 4th house is also what's hidden. You might be seeing 222, 444. It says, many of my divine children take time to cultivate their offerings to the world. This is that generosity card. Your soul, even with your fire and ambition, is capable of great patience, endurance, hope, and faith. These spiritual qualities allow for the development of a truly exceptional offering to the world. Rest assured, my divine one, it is never too late. In fact, your time for full blooming during this full moon is just now starting to come into view. From the night blooming flower to the oasis, from the creatures that have adapted to thrive in desert conditions, the sudden and swift eruption of life, that abounds after precious rainfall. The desert teaches us about life. Life in the desert in particular demonstrates the power of creative, adaptable intelligence. The aspect of the natural world that learns to thrive no matter the odds against it. Like I said, no matter what's going on externally from you, what's going on within? How can you be adaptable? Like water. Also, Gnosis was surrendering to this, right? And the unknowing. What's that saying? It's like, for those that know everything, know nothing. I don't know that saying. Comment below. It's a famous saying, but I don't remember who it's by. It says, the oracle of desert harvest comes to you with tidings of life and fertility in the face of odds to the contrary, right? This 10 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles. When your life doesn't seem to be moving in the right direction and you cannot find your way, you may fall prone to doubts. Again, forgive yourself. Spiritually speaking, you are in the desert and yearning for water. The improbable, the difficult to launch, the creative dream that seems to be ridiculous will be, and the Divine Mother will delight in another of her improbable creations. Such is her irrepressible sense of play, humor, and divinely defiant will. It says, if you are dreaming a beautiful but unlikely dream, please do not give up. Your story matters. Your generosity, your gift, your offering, it truly matters. Help is coming. It is a timing issue. There's a greater cycle at play, and you will need to wait for the cycles to complete itself. It will not be for much longer now, but patience is key. Patience is not telling you you cannot. It is just telling you that the best time for all to happen is on its way. You are going through dark times and believe all hope is lost. Remember that in the dark of night, when least expected, your soul flower shall open, and your hope and patience will have fulfilled their tasks of leading you to the sweetest oasis. 10 of Cups. Healing will come. So it's dancing within the polarities of this 10 of Swords. Again, the pain, the delays, the stagnation, feeling immobile, knowing when to move, knowing when to strike. It's going to be this polarity dance right now. Okay, and again, it's about what do you have around you? What resources do you have, or also where can you be generous to others and help others in a time of need? Because there are a lot of people that are needing support, and you as well need that support for yourself. Again, honorable exchanges, my dear mentor would tell me. It might not always be 50-50, right? And even in this most desolate of places where you feel like, you're in that 10 of Swords, just look up, because the sun is peaking. I'm going to show you in the card. Beautiful image of the 10 of Swords. For those that think it's all morbid, doom and gloom, it's not. The sun is breaking. There's a new dawn. There's a new dawn. There's a new day. There's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. If you decide to keep looking down, you cannot notice that the clouds are breaking. Right? Things are shifting. Things are healing. Be patient. Saturn and Taurus, yes. Saturn is also going direct. We didn't even talk about that. But that's also some big movement that's occurring as well this month. Beautiful reading. I hope that this helped you. Whenever you find it, just know it's meant to find you. And if you want to go deeper into this message with me, you can find my website for all of my readings. Check out my Patreon. Check out my channel for my monthly readings. Email me. Let's set something up. I wish you all the best. Bye for now, and take care of yourself.